Have you ever invested in sales training and felt like it made sense at the time, and then a few months later, nothing's really changed? The team understood it, they agreed with it, they liked it. But when it came to real opportunities, the behaviour stayed pretty much the same. Now, if that sounds familiar, you're not alone.
You're listening to the Sales Today podcast, and I'm your host, Fred Copestake. On this podcast, we explore how sales professionals can develop a modern approach to winning business, the application of virtual selling techniques, how to create meaningful business relationships, and much more. Why not take our free collaborative selling scorecard to see how your sales approach suits today's environment? You'll find a link in the show notes.
Okay, so it's important to say this clearly. Most sales training doesn't fail because the content is wrong. In most cases, look, the ideas will be solid, frameworks will make sense, concepts will be useful. So the issue isn't really the thinking, it's the application. It's not the thinking, it's the application. Because there's a big difference between understanding something and doing something different. In the training environment, everything feels clear. You can see the logic, you can follow the structure, you can imagine how it would work. But real sales situations are a bit different, aren't they? They're messy, uncertain, they're dynamic. Constant change going on within them. Without a clear way to apply the thinking, people are naturally going to revert to what they've always done. Now, I've found, having trained for, let's say, quite a few years, it's 25 actually, it's more notable in engineering-led businesses because the default behaviour is so strong. Under pressure, people revert back to technical expertise, problem solving, detail. These are deeply embedded habits. Now, they will work well in many contexts, but when we're introducing new sales approaches, they often sit alongside existing behaviours. Yeah, we're not trying to replace them. And so what happens is nothing really shifts. Real change happens differently. It happens when learning is connected to real opportunities. It's when we take the thinking and we apply it to live situations. When people can see this works here, now, that's when behaviour starts to shift. Because it's no longer theoretical, it's practical, it's relevant. And that is the key point. When people see results, they believe. When they believe, they change. When they change, the approach sticks. Without that, even good, solid, fun, entertaining training will fade away. So, if you've tried sales training before and it hasn't quite delivered the impact you expected, it's worth asking, was this something the team understood or something they actually applied? Because that difference is where the value is at. It's in the application. Yeah. Implementation will always be pure information. Now, if that sounds familiar, it's often useful to step back, have a look, what your team is doing, how they currently applying their sales approach across real opportunities. You'll find in show notes below the collaborative selling scorecard. Use this as a gauge. Take it yourself, share it with the team. It will give a bit of a feeling as to how you're actually taking a solid, modern, collaborative sales approach and using it in real life. Let me know how you get on.
Thank you for listening to the Sales Today podcast with me, your host, Fred Copestake. I hope you've enjoyed what you heard today. If you did, please get in touch and hit subscribe. And remember, you can take the Collaborative Selling Scorecard for free to check out how your sales approach works in today's environment. You'll find it in the show notes.